disrupted.
America that I fought.
Weird thing to happen. Hello, one and all. Welcome to this edition of Kitz Corner. It's been a fantastic day so far. So guess what, folks? If you're thinking about what your next purchase might be, well, most people are starving and trying to put food on their table. But think about this for a second, that in America, God bless America, you can have the potential to buy your own flame-throwing robot dog for the low, low price of just under 10 grand. You can now buy a flame-throwing robot dog for under $10,000. What an age we live in. God. I can't. No. This is a consumer good. This is a consumer good. I don't want to even begin on who exactly, first of all, have the fortune to even have the money to potentially think about buying this, but then also have the rationale to actually buy a contraption like this. Like, it literally is just like, they should just rewrite this to schmucks out there can buy a flamethrower robot dog for no apparent reason for 10 grand. Like, we could waste our money that way. It's not, this literally sounds like a Bill Maher, like, you know, when we showed that video of Bill Maher, you know, saying, suck it up, crybabies, stop whining about, you know, your complaints about America. Don't you know we could buy TVs at $60 and now you can buy a flame-throwing robot dog for 10 grand? You gotta love this. Come on. Grow up. That's like a Bill Maher kind of trope right there. The Terminator, the first flame-throwing welding robot dog, is completely legal in 48 U.S. states. And there it is, folks. There's a picture of it. So, this is an amazing article because it says, if you've been wondering when you'll be able to order the flame-throwing robot dog, which I have not been wondering, I didn't even know we had the potential to do this, that Ohio-based Throw Flame first announced last summer, that day has finally arrived. The Terminator that flamethrow bills as the first ever flame-throwing welding robot dog is now available for purchase. The price, $9,420. The Terminator is quadruped robot with an ARC flamethrower mounted onto its back, fueled by gasoline or napalm. It features a 1-hour battery, a 30-foot flame-throwing range, and Wi-Fi and Bluetooth connectivity for remote control through a smartphone. It also includes a LiDAR sensor for mapping and obstacle avoidance, laser sighting, and first-person view, navigation through an onboard camera. The product appears to integrate a version of the Unitree Geo2 robot quadrupled that retails alone for $1,600 in its base configuration. You know, just in case Fido doesn't work out for you, you know, your family pet that you cherish so much. Now you have the potential to get a hunk of junk with a weapon on its back. Good job. Good job. The company lists possible applications of the new robot as wildfire control and prevention, which I'm guessing wildfire control and prevention when you have a flamethrower, I'm guessing that's controlled burns. So is that going to be good for, like, again, I can't see an average person being remotely interested in this. I just don't see the potential of any random resident using this efficiently. I just don't see it going well, or have the money to do so. Wildfire control and prevention, agricultural management, ecological conservation, snow and ice removal, and entertainment and sound effects. I think the only one I can at least agree with is snow and ice removal. That's like a basic Canadian answer of mine. That's definitely like if they ever had a robot flamethrowing dog, if that ever gets to like a Canadian Tire store up here and someone walks by, that would be the only potential that would make them turn an eye. Like, oh, maybe I could get the ice drifts from my yard there. Maybe clear my driveway. Like that's the only thing I can see it being potentially used for. Unless you're unless you're a pyrotechnic maniac, I don't know. But most of all, it set things on fire in a variety of real-world scenarios. They're really trying to sell you this. Back in 2018, Elon Musk made the news for offering an official Boring Company flamethrower that reportedly sold 10,000 units in 48 hours. It sparked some controversy because flamethrowers can also double as weapons or potentially start wildfires. Flamethrowers are not specifically regulated in 48 U.S. states, although general public liability and criminal laws may still apply for their use and sale. I mean, that kind of makes sense. If you kill or harm someone, you're still considered a person that harmed someone. That's regardless of what piece of appliance or tool you have. Like if you kill someone with a toothbrush, you're not blaming the toothbrush. You're blaming the person that anyway. They are not considered firearms by federal agencies. Specific restrictions exist in Maryland, where flamethrowers require a federal firearms license to own, and California, where the range of flamethrowers cannot exceed 10 feet. Even so, to state the obvious, flamethrowers can easily burn both things and people, starting fires and wreaking havoc if not used safely. According to the Terminator, might be one Christmas present you should skip for little Johnny this year. Wow. You gotta love where innovation's gone, folks. Again, we live in a time where basic necessities of life, food, shelter, electricity, the basic fundamentals are so out of reach, but yet we have the potential to try to sucker people into buying an expensive robotic metal dog with a flamethrower on its back. Just an age we live in, folks. So here's even Wired came reporting about this and says somehow this $10,000 flamethrower robot dog is completely legal in 48 states. Which when I read that headline, it reminds me of oh my god, who's that old comedian that used to star co-side Andy Griffith? Don Knotts. This definitely seems like a Barney Fife, Don Knotts kind of tone when you read a headline like this. Somehow this $10,000 flamethrower robot dog is completely legal in 48 states, Andy. We got to nip it. Nip it. And yes, I am a millennial that grew up on 70s television reruns. That was what my grandparents watched, and that was what we did. So I know a bit of thing or two about that. And I still watch a thing or two about that. But here is just an example of this. I had to cut the audio out for copyright purposes, but here's a little demonstration of this robot dog. Ladies and gentlemen, for $10,000, this can be yours. So there it is, getting gassed up. That, wow, oh my god. And this is available for the public. That seems like, no. And there's the laser. Holy crap. Some people find this cute. I find this terrifying. I just, oh my god. You know, why bother buying milk or eggs when you can have this? Holy crap. That's insane. There's the flamethrower. Yeah, that's... Holy crap. And they tried to sell this as a dog. Oh god. I don't know. I don't know anything about the company that made this, but I feel like somewhere out there, some guy had to look at the possibility of a robot flamethrower dog and been like, you know, imagine if we just had the potential of a cutesy little animal that was able to kill. I was able just to burn things to a crisp. Imagine if we just had something like that. We just got to nip it. Oh, man. Oh, man. This is too much. This is too much. And it just reminds me, because I saw this recently. There's a video out there. And this came about when they were announcing that, I think it was Apple. They had the VR goggles that came out recently that people are now so, like, rushed to buy into because the whole virtual reality and meta world, and you know, you can own a piece of this virtual land like Snoop Dogg. And it's scary how times have gone, because that in that video there are people that are walking outside in broad daylight on a normal city street, and they're wearing these VR goggles that are constantly covering their face. And while they're doing this, they're walking a robotic dog. They're walking a hunk of metal, posing as a dog, wearing VR goggles to simulate the idea of walking an animal. This is how barbaric and bleak our future is, folks. That we can't, as human beings, we refuse to walk an actual animal and love and support and cherish an actual life form, but we're up in arms of wearing a virtual reality device to simulate the idea of walking a dog and walk a piece of metal. Like, at what point do we have to say to ourselves how screwed up that is? How fundamentally insane and barbaric and just insidious that makes us? How do we just... at what point do we just look at ourselves and go, no, that's enough? And it's just it's creepy. It's devastating. Like, I you know, when people think of the future, I don't think they were thinking about this. I thought maybe they were thinking about the George Jetson kind of era future where everyone had floating houses and you know, be able to shoot themselves to school. Not robotic dogs and being masked constantly through the VR presence device. Like, oh, just no. No. I just don't know how this is beneficial to any sort of humanity. But it could be yours for $10,000 if the price is right. Consumerism, folks. No stopping it.